Alrighty, lumberjacks, welcome back. And today we're going to have an interesting conversation. So Jordan started a fire. Okay, so I had a video in my FDR logging series that came out, and it was talking about my cynical views of the upcoming Farming Simulator 2025. All right. So after that video came out, honestly, I didn't think even people were going to really watch it. So I have probably got the most feedback I have ever received via email, via Discord, via comments, just because of that one video. And I got lots of comments, lots of stuff. So you know what? I'm going to kind of address it as we go. Like all the different stuff, because there's tons of really interesting information. So in the background, we have this boring image of this E for everyone. So I'm on the Farming Simulator official YouTube channel, and we're going to watch this little video again, and we're going to have a little discussion, play by play. So what I need to make clear, which I don't think a lot of people are getting, because I made lots of points in that video regarding my opinions on the game, my history of modding, and why I made the opinions that I did make. So the important thing that I mentioned in the video is that we love this game. We do. We really do. The fans of this community, the modding community, we wouldn't be here if we didn't love this game, if we didn't like working with it, if we didn't like playing it, if we didn't like modding for it. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't be here. So obviously we like the game, right? So I need to make that clear. There's lots of people saying, oh, you're just hating, pushing the hate, pushing the trolling. That's not the case. I have been with this game series for I'm coming up on 9 years, I think now. 9 years. That's longer than I've been at probably any of my jobs that I work at. So I'm very committed to this game series, committed to the modding. And as I've described in the past, I'm passionate about it. Very important stuff, right? So anybody trying to claim, oh, we're just hating and fear-mongering and hate-mongering, that's not the case. If anything, if you're like I am and you're a huge fan of Farming Simulator and you do care about the game and the game's development, that makes you extra critical about the game because you do love it and you do want to see progress. You want to see this game get better, not worse, right? That seems to be a pretty big fan thing. So to address the people that are saying we're hate-mongering, that is not the case. I have a lot of respect for the company Giants. Giants is the company that makes Farming Simulator. And I don't hate the company. I don't have a passionate hate for them, as some people are claiming. I do have a lot of respect for them, as they've given us this amazing game to play and to mod. And they've given us the tools to change it and develop it, which works for us and for them to keep the community growing. It's fantastic. So I'm in no way saying I want this game to crash and burn. I'm not saying this game should be shut down. I'm not saying fire everyone. Nothing like that. What I'm saying is, over the past developmental games that I've seen, from FS19 and up, I have not seen a lot of changes worthwhile to make it, in my opinion, worth releasing as a whole new game. I think a lot of the stuff that changed could have been done via updates or DLC. There's not a lot of entire violent changes to the game itself that have made me go, oh yeah, we need a new game because it's so dynamically different. And that's kind of what I'm pushing with these videos. So I've scoured the comments. I have so many different opinions and stuff that have come in, both positive, both negative, and both critical, which I am all for. And I love that you guys are giving feedback, because you know what it means? It means that you guys are thinking about it. It means that you guys care about it and that you're willing to share your opinions. And that's what I love. So you guys are the leading force of, forming an opinion about the games as they go. And so am I. I'm no better than any one of you. I make an opinion just like any one of you. I try my best to defend the opinion. I feel, because I've been modding for this game for so long, I have definitely a more in-depth opinion and look at some of the internal structuring, the physics, that kind of stuff, because I work with them on the constant. And I feel a lot of people who are just players don't understand that extra layer, which I kind of go over in some of my videos to get you kind of a glimpse at it. So when I give my opinions, I do believe certain developments could be better, like anything. Even my mods, things could be better, right? But in this case, we're talking about a brand new game that people are going to shell out, anywhere from, I don't know, depending on your country, $30 to $60 to $70 worth of your money, that I don't think in some cases is worth it. And that's my opinion. And maybe some of you disagree, maybe some of you don't, and that's fine. So today, like I said, I just wanted to go over some of the comments and some of the stuff, and then we're going to watch this video, and I'm going to have some commentary about what I think. I've already kind of done one of these, but I'm going to be maybe a little more critical and let you guys see what I see. So some of the points that were brought up in that video, or in that last video that I made, were some points about business. So I did mention in that video about the cynical stuff. I did mention, I understand this company is a business. I understand business. I understand business projection and growth, and I totally understand money is the object. It is the key, because without the money flowing, people don't have jobs. The company doesn't exist. It goes under. So I understand that you need to have income on the roll coming in to keep your company active, right? I get that. At the same time, I'm still critical of development, because I believe if you have a team, and I don't know how many people work at this company. I've seen other companies with more people, maybe less people, but I know individual modders have worked on their own to change this game developmentally in ways that their entire team of people weren't able to do. So when I look at that and I see a team of these experts, these engineers, these game designers, level designers, how is it that a couple, maybe 5, 10 different modders on their own are able to make these dynamic leaps and jumps in a short period of time, 6 months, some of them, to change the game? And I'm not going to give examples because I don't want to bring other modders into this that may not have the same view as me. But there are modders out there that have changed the game dynamically to make it better for certain aspects of the game. And they've done it in less time on their own without support. So if these little modders are able to transform this game in 6 months into a game that everybody wants and everybody likes, why can't the company of, whether it's 20 or 50 or 100 employees that are paid and on the payroll, be able to make more dynamic and more extreme changes in a more positive direction in 3 years or 2.5 or however many years it was? It was 3 years before the last game came out. It does not feel like that big of an upgrade. Okay? That's my opinion. That is what I see, and that is what is being projected to me via the stuff that I am seeing. Another concept that came up was competition. So yes, again, this is speculation, but there is not a lot of competition for Farming Simulator. There have been other farming games that have tried to kind of wiggle their way in alongside it, but they have not survived. The development has not survived as much as Farming Simulator. So it is a very niche thing. It holds its own market, and it doesn't have a lot of competition. And without competition, there's no need to really change. Competition pushes companies to change and be better for the people that they're selling their products to. And if there's no competition and the leadership doesn't, see a need for change, everything flatlines and the company just keeps reselling the same product over and over and over and over until either the fan base buggers off and leaves, or until a competitor comes in and fights it and challenges it and makes it improve itself. That's it. Or you have a really good leader that wants to change it. But so that was a good point that somebody made about competition. And one more comment that I wanted to go over before we watch this little video. Sorry, I know this is boring little screen to watch here while I rant. So another person made the comment, and this is actually what I started it with. So he said, "This is my favorite game, and I'm just disappointed." And I said, you know what? That wraps up the entire argument for the fan base community that's not really impressed with the changes. This is my favorite game, and I'm disappointed. As soon as I saw that, I said, that's exactly how a lot of people feel. And I totally agree. Like I said, we love this game. We love the company. We want development. We want change. And if the company's not ready for change, if they don't have their ducks in a row, then don't release the game, right? And again, we're back to business. Okay, well, if we have to release the game because we need to make next year's earnings, we need to make more money, we need to make more money. But you know what? As a consumer, if your product is not improved to a certain degree, then why am I rebuying it? I made a comment response. You know what I would rather? I would rather this. If this company, this is a lot of speculation. So none of this is fact, all speculation, just me speculating out in the wild here. So me conversing with some of the commenters on these posts, we're under the consideration that maybe, possibly in the background, Giants is developing a new engine. Maybe Giants is developing, working with a partner to create a new engine or drastically change this one, but it costs more money, more time, and we don't have the time for it. So if that's the case, they are working on something huge that's going to drastically change the whole game and they're just buying time. I would prefer, as a consumer and as a lover of this game and a supporter of this game and this community, I would prefer Giants comes out and says, hey, everybody, you know what? We're going to switch over to this new great engine, and whatever it is, any engine, something we really want to. It's going to change the entire game, but it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. This is how much money we need to make before we can do it. And they did like a big GoFundMe or something. I would throw billows of cash at that just to know that there is a change coming, some kind of dynamic big change, because I would not only be excited for the change, but I would support that kind of honesty. But I don't know if that's happening, and I don't think a lot of people do know if that's happening, and that's the problem. Like, if we knew, okay, we're going to put out FS25, guys, we want all of you to buy it because this is going to be the one before we do our big change. The more support we get, the better. Then we would know, right? But maybe FS25 is going to be the same as FS28, FS30, FS31, like whatever the going forward is, and we don't know that. Right? We don't. So to me, being a blind consumer, and that's all I can see it from because I have no insight to the internal development of this game. I have zero. I have no idea what's going on back there. Not a clue. So if they are developing something deeper within, I don't know about it. So my consumer view just sees you as replacing the same game with minor upgrades every year or every other whatever release. And then I get kind of tired. It's been very lackluster the last few games. It hasn't been a big change. It really hasn't. And you're going to have fans yelling and screaming, on both sides. Some saying it's exactly the same game, and then some saying, oh, no, it's a totally new game with a totally new engine. It is not. It is all the same engine with upgrades. It's important people know that from a modding perspective. Now, again, I'm going to get flack for all this, and I don't care, but I need to make this point clear that we love this game. We just want to see development that is worth the cost of upgrading, or at least honesty on what the plan is moving forward, right? Like, that's a big deal. Even me as a modder for this game, I want to see growth. I want to see the future. I want to see some cool plans, stuff that's coming. I'm all good with surprises, but we need some kind of a roadmap, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video. I'm going to just kind of have it roll in the background. And again, this video belongs to Farming Simulator. It belongs to Giants. This is not my video. I'm not the kind of person that likes to borrow content. It's just, this is the only video I have for reference to the game. So this is Farming Simulator 2025 gameplay from in the game. So me looking at it right now, I can tell you 100%. So one, there's a very high percent chance that this video has been slightly tweaked, which we all do when we're doing video releases. Like we'll add lighting, we'll change lighting, we'll add color, whatever. But this video in general will be pretty much a tell of exactly how the game's going to be. I can tell you just by looking at this right now, sure, we have some fog. That's a neat addition, but we can add fog to our current maps. We absolutely can. All the way back to FS17, we could put fog in there. Again, the new fog is supposedly dynamic fog, which is a little bit better rolling in and out. I can't speak to that because I want to see it. I want to see it live while we're playing the game. But I can tell you as a map maker, somebody who works with these maps and moves all the stuff, it's exactly the same. The ground formation is exactly the same. The grass is still the painted on regular vertice type grass. That's no different. I can see the little square chunks over here popping out of the ground. The gravel and stuff is still that generated. As you can see, it kind of squares out a little bit. This is exactly what we have in FS22, exactly what we had in FS19, right? It's very, very similar. It's the same engine, same game. This is not a whole new world, right? We have new brands. Senebogen, fantastic. Love to see that. Maybe your cows look different. Again, I can't comment on the farming side because that's not usually the side I play. Looking at the trees, We have larger trees. We still have the same, well, here, I'm going to let it go because I can talk about those a little bit more. So here we go. You're looking at this, you got some more fog things happening. The lighting, so we can look at the lighting. Shader qualities. So looking at the shaders bouncing, which is the light hitting this metal and bouncing off the sides of it. I'm not going to say it's a change at all. I think that's exactly the same. It's reflections that I look at. We have the quick flash of the tornado. So this is where you have your dynamic fog you can see in the background. So we have this dynamic fog that's rolling through here. Again, we were able to put fog in FS19 and FS17 in the past using settings in the map, not dynamic fog that's rolling. So maybe this will look super impressive, but it's fog. I don't know. Fog is such a moot point to me that's my opinion. I don't think it's a huge selling upgrade, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, we're looking at trees. So load in on the trees. It looks exactly the same as FS22, exactly the same as FS19. You still have that same load in on the trees where they create a 2D version of the tree at a distance to save you performance on your card so that you're not getting low frame rate. Again, same kind of concept. The lighting hitting this building looks exactly the same. Shading, lighting, that's no big change there. Here you go. You have a sign. Again, you can see the specular maps getting hit with light with the little speckles and stuff. This is all stuff we have in FS22 right now. Again, as a map maker, I can see that the ground formation is exactly the same. Whether it's a higher quality, I know when they film these videos, they usually film them in like a higher resolution 4K. A lot of computers can't play at 4K, so you may or may not see the high details of the grass. The grass looks fantastic. I think it's great, but it's still that, again, vertice kind of blocky grass that we have in the current game. Not a change. Why? Because we're still using the same engine. So and the reason I'm going over the engine over and over and over here is I've gotten a whole pile of super fun hate mail about, they said it's a brand new engine, it's a brand new game. And okay, it is not a new engine. It is a upgraded version of the engine. So Giants has the Giants engine, which is what creates all the 3D in the game and all that stuff. And they have upgraded over the years. I don't know where it started, Giants 1, Engine 1, but I think they're on Giants Engine 10 now. But all it is a new version of the engine that they've upgraded dynamics of it. It's not a brand new engine. Like, we're not switching over to the Unreal Engine or the Havoc engine or anything like that. It's all still the same engine with tweaks and upgrades. But visually, as a person who's spent thousands and thousands of hours modding and mapping and playing with every little detail, it is exactly the same in terms of the way that the mapping is put in here. So we're going to keep rolling. Again, fields, dynamics, we can see the 2D LOD, the square kind of chunks here, piece, like it's the same concept. And again, I'm not trying to beat this subject to death, but I need people to realize why a lot of us are seeing it as the same game with repainted. Because I know that sounds horrible to say, oh, you're just re-releasing the same game and it's painted, repainted, is sold as a new game. And a lot of it is. Again, animals, maybe there's something more. Like, their animations look smoother. Maybe that's I'm not the farming side, so maybe that's a big upgrade for the farmers. I'm not going to neglect the fact that that's possible, that they made, prettier, higher resolution looking animals, better animations. Okay, cool. Definitely couldn't have done that with DLC, though, right? Not possible. Not possible at all. Again, here we go. We're looking at the reflections on the cab. We're looking at the reflections on everything, on how it works. It's identical. It's the same. It's not. It's the shaders are the same. It's not this. I don't know how to go over it anymore. It's everyone said the shaders are all different. They threw out the shaders and they have all brand new ones. And it's like, no, it's the same. It looks exactly the same. So, and I mean, I could tell visually that it hasn't changed. Maybe you guys might have new crop types. Maybe this is the new with the rice and all that kind of stuff. But visually, this is pretty much the same as what we had. The dirt is the same. Again, you can see You can see the vertices on the grass and how they are just kind of those stuck in the grass kind of deals. Like it's same difference. Oh, this might be new. Okay, there you go. So we now have, looks like raindrops hitting the mirrors. So maybe that's new. And again, that looks like a custom shader that they put over top of the mirror that might be dynamically interacting with the rain when it falls. So that's cool. Sure. There you go. That's a change. Is that worth buying a new game? I don't know. That's your opinion. You know, grass swaying. Is that new? I think the grass sways. I actually, I don't know that one. You guys can fact check me on that. Grass swaying, is that a new thing? I know the trees sway. The trees sway, but I don't know about the grass. And then we have some grass that sways and then the other grass that doesn't. Maybe that grass doesn't sway in real life. I don't know. Again, you have reflections, the reflection qualities. This is all the same shading and the same shader dynamics that we have on FS22 currently, except for possibly the rain speckles. That's a change. So that's new. I'm willing to give them that one. That looks different. Lighting on the tires, lighting, character position, everything looks pretty much the same. And tornadoes. There's your biggest selling feature, people. Tornadoes. I have another episode coming out where I talked about tornadoes for the FDR logging in the future here. And I kind of tore that apart. I won't even go into it in this video, but you guys can form your own opinions about these tornadoes. Yeah. Anyway, not going to go there. So tornadoes, there you go. That's a new feature. So you have rain on the windshields, or rain on these rain speckles. You have tornadoes and fog. There you go. But in the majority of stuff, like even this is, I hate this. I'm sorry, but I hate it. So I don't know, have you guys ever played Far Cry? Have you guys ever played The Forest? Great examples of the way they use dynamic ground and ground generation to make it look really nice. This sucks. I hate it. We've been seeing this forever. So as a map maker, I'm going to call this out. I'm sorry, but I love this game, but this is something that hasn't changed. And every time I look at a picture like this kind of groundscaping, I look at it and I go, ew. Why? Because we have these square little chunks, little square chunks all over the place. It doesn't look natural. If you go play games like Far Cry or The Forest, everything dynamically rolls into everything else, right? Like you don't have the square lines, the square, look, the shadows, the tree. Like that's the big development change for me as a map editor. And we were hoping for this coming in future versions. Again, that's to do with their engine, which they would need a new engine probably, because I know obviously Far Cry has a different engine. Obviously, The Forest uses a different engine than what we're looking at right here, right now. So I don't like the look of this type of terrain. I don't like the look of this type of grass placement. Like when you're using the grass tool, making these kind of things. As a map editor, I want to make it look more natural, and it's really hard to do when you have these kind of vertice, square, chunky ground mapping type stuff when you're painting. It just doesn't have a very super, really natural look to it, which we were kind of hoping would get smoothed out over time or changed, and it didn't happen. But looking at this picture, it is just the same old farming simulator. It is. It's the same thing. It really is. I feel like the Zoolander. Remember, if you guys watch Zoolander, where the magenta or whatever the heck Will Ferrell's character is, he's the big evil guy, and he's talking about Derek Zoolander, and he says, how do you people think he has all these different looks? His blue steel and Magneto or whatever the hell his different looks are, and it's all the same look. It is. It's the same game. It is. Yes. Okay. So there you go. Here's your fog. Fantastic. You got some fog in there. Maybe some lighting changes off of the fog. Again, here you go. You got your water droplets from the rain. That's a new dynamic. So maybe that's totally worth it. Okay, so this will be where we see the ruts in the ground. So I'm going to hit you guys hard on this one because I had also some feedback from people saying, "Oh, the ground deformation is totally changed and it's everywhere. It's not just on fields." Okay, I watched videos from, I'm not naming anybody's names because I don't want to bring anybody else into this, but I watched other people on YouTube who have played the game and they showed their live gaming footage. And if this tractor drives through this grass, it doesn't push the grass down. It doesn't leave tire marks in the grass. It doesn't, it'll leave probably that regular texture that we have currently in FS22 onto the dirt that disappears after you drive for too far. But it doesn't tamp down the grass. It doesn't remove the grass. It didn't do anything. In the video, he was driving around in it and he drove all through the grass and all over the place. And the only place it made a difference was in the fields themselves. So we're going to keep playing here. So, you got to see a little bit there. Back up here a couple of steps. So kind of that dynamic ripping. Oh, maybe we'll get some more here. Again, with the physics, I've watched the physics of the round bales. I haven't seen any actual logging or trees get cut down, but I guarantee it's all exactly the same as FS22 because it's the same engine. Exactly the same. So graphically, not seeing changes. This is all the same, guys. Everyone's saying, oh, the graphics are 1,000% improved. It's not. And again, we're watching this video that was recorded in the highest resolution in a 4K setting. So, of course, everything looks a little sharper. But I'm telling you guys right now, it's not different. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope suddenly I'm going to eat my words when the game comes out. It'll be so different. But looking at this, the same foliage tool used in the map editor for placing this stuff, right? It's the same ground, the same everything. It's not different. And you got a little sheep jumping. So that's it. That's the video. Okay, so all said and done, the important part of this, throughout all my bitching and complaining and whining about the fact that it's not that big of a different change, it isn't. And I'm okay with the fact that it isn't 100% different. What I'm not okay with is everyone believing it's a fully different game and trying to argue that point with me that it's a whole new engine and it's a whole new thing. It's not. It's the same game, same engine, minor. And I say minor upgrades compared to the last game. That is very minor, right? I don't know in 3 years of development, if they've had 3 years of development on this game, I don't think that's a worthy upgrade to pay another $60 for. I don't think so. Am I going to buy it? Yeah, I am going to buy it. I love the game series. I want to keep moving forward with it. So does the rest of the people. Even the most critical people that I've spoken to about this game that are against some of the changes, they're still going to buy it because they want to move forward with the game series, right? We could boycott it. Everyone could just say, you know what? Skipping FS25. We could lead a whole army of people that just say, no, we're not doing it. I could stop modding for it and wait for another game. We could do that. But then we're not going to see development in the future. The entire purpose of this cynical view in this video and all of this is not to hate on Farming Simulator. It's not to hate on Giants. It's not to hate on anything. It's to show you guys that the developmental changes over the last few games has been very, very lackluster. From FS19 to 22 and 22 to 25 has been a very, very, very minor changes. That could be due to console constraints. That could be due to financial planning, business, whatever. But as a consumer, and as all of you guys are consumers and fans of this product, I think it's important that you talk about it. I think it's important that you call it out. Because then maybe developers will stop and they'll look at you and they'll say, hey, man, our fans really don't like that. Maybe we should try to start changing it. Or maybe they'll come out with an honest response and say, you know what? We're actually working on something really major and really big in the background, and this is just kind of getting us through it until we get there, right? But we don't know that. We don't have a clue, and I don't have a clue. So all I can do as a consumer is look at this and call it out for what it is and say, hey, we're going to follow you into the fire here, but it would be nice to know that there's water somewhere on the other side for us to make a better change. If not, I guess we just keep rebuying the same game over and over and over for the next 20 years, and maybe something will change then. But yeah, I don't know. It's important we call this stuff out, and I'm very proud of the people that raise their opinions. I know some of you emailed me saying they were attacked for their opinions or whatever in the comments, and shame on the people that are yelling trolls and yelling hateful stuff at the people that are, stating the obvious. You're stating what you're seeing. It's not some disgusting conspiracy theory opinion that people have. It's what they see. It's what they're given to them, right? Right? You give me an apple and put it in my hand, and then you give me, and then, you know, an hour later you try to sell me another apple, but you stick a you stick a toothpick in it and tell me it's, 10 times better. There's not an argument there to try to tell me what I'm seeing is a big change, right? And that's what a lot of people are feeling, and I tend to agree with them. As a modder of this game for 9 years now, I can tell you the development has kind of hit a plateau here, and something should change. So again, this is an opinion. We're going to keep logging. We're going to keep playing the game. We're going to keep moving forward. But I thought it was very important after that video and the controversy that it caused, that people see it and respond to it. So you guys can lay on the hate as much as you want after this video, or the support. But we love the game, including the people that are yelling about it in the comments, that are both, following my side or your side or whatever. We all love the game. We all are all part of this community, and we want to see positive changes that are worthwhile for the value. I think that's all we're asking, right? That's all we're looking at. So hopefully we can all get along and move forward. If not, that's the joy of controversy, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's got an opinion. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to say good luck, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.